Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I am going to be showing you how to make something a little bit different using shrink plastic. We are going to be making drink markers, something for your Christmas table. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Come with me. So these are lovely bits of shrink plastic that we've turned into baubles and done them in different colours with different little motifs on them, so that you can make sure that nobody else steals your drink. I think it's a fab idea. Right, so these are lovely shrink plastic drink markers, great for sticking around your glass and making sure that you always keep your own drink. So enough chat from me, come with me and let me show you how it's done. Okay, so we've got the Sizzix shrink plastic and I'm using the whiter of the two sides, and I've got the circle masks small outer edge and I'm using the circle inside. Now I'm going to do 4 just in case. Well, you never know, I might have 4 people for dinner. Anyway, just going with 2 at the moment, and I'm drawing round a Posca pen and then squaring it off for the top of my bauble and then doing a circle on the top. And that's where I'm going to create a loop for my hanger. So I'm just going to cut it out using my Sizzix scissors. Not easy to see. Good grief. Anyway, so once we've cut them out, I'm going to use my larger of the handheld punches and just create that loop for the top. Now we add the colour. So for this, for the red one, I am going to be squirting some acrylic spray. Cranberry red, excuse me, you may have noticed that I put my hand out over it. That was to stop anything else getting contaminated. And when we're using the acrylic sprays, I have put some bright white on as well. They can get everywhere, so check that it doesn't go underneath. And just rub it off with a piece of kitchen towel. So I've got my black Posca pen and I'm going around the outside of the shape at the top. And choose one side to have a thicker line on it. There we go, I'm going with the left. And then I'm going back in with my white, doing a giant blob by pushing my Posca pen down and creating a reservoir. And then I'm just smudging it round with my finger. And then fill in the top that we'd already worked on with the black pen with the white to create a contrast. So now let's stamp the character using archival ink, and this is jet black. And I've got Basil from the Basil and BB stamp set. This is the little one with his light, the little mouse with his light. Stamping it down. There he is. So I've got my white Posca pen for his eye. And I've got some red Posca now, just to make that red pop a bit more. And this is my glittery yellow Posca pen. I do love this. It's got a lovely effect on it, and it's going on the side of the lantern. So I'm just doing some dots and a little bit of smudgery. Don't forget to highlight the mouse so it looks like the light is hitting him. Okay, and just keep adding dots until you're happy with it. Now I've got the dynamic stencil and the glittery red Posca pen, and I'm just going to use some of the pattern here for a bit of interest. It's quite small, so it's not necessarily going to be visible, but it just adds a little bit of interest, I think, to the bauble. Keep going until you're happy to stop. And if you think it looks a bit bare, add a couple of dots like I did there. Nobody should be alone at Christmas, so we're giving Basil a friend. This is BB. So I've just used the yellow acrylic spray and done the white Posca blob like before, like we did for Basil's. And I'm just inking her up again with archival jet black ink, straight in the centre. She's going to be playing a tune. There we go. That's a nice little pair. And I've got my glittery blue Posca pen now, just because I fancied a little bit of something different. And I'm going round the pattern There we go. Adding a little bling. Well, it is Christmas after all. But you know, these would work for any time of year. Obviously not necessarily a bauble, but we can come up with a different shape. So I've just used some Stickles Gold, smudging it on. You'd be surprised, it actually does shrink really nicely. I'm just popping it on one side and letting it settle. Shrinking time! So here you go, grab something to hold your bauble down, otherwise it might fly off the table, and using a Ranger heat tool, or whatever heat tool you've got available, just shrink it. It's amazing to see it disappear down to such a small size, and then stamp it down. I've used a heavy sketchbook in the past, but look at that, that's what it was before, the size it was before, down to the size it is now. Now, you can see me here, I've just decided to draw in some musical notes, but you know what, we do have a stamp. And I missed a trick there. But I decided to go with pale blue and glittery gold, and I couldn't have done that with a stamp. So there we go, shrinking again. Fabulous little thing, look at that go. Oh, there's a matching, there's 3 there. Now, obviously, you can have whatever you'd like in the centre. I'm just going around the outside with Stickles again, once it's shrunk. Again, it's gold Stickles. So you see that red blotch at the top? That, my friend, is Cosmic Shimmer Metallic Gilding Polish, Rich Red, and I'm using that with my finger to just finish off that edge. And then once that's dry, I'm putting a bit of black Posca pen around, just using the side of it to create a definite edge. Yeah, so don't try and do it with the tip, just put your Posca pen on the side and run it along that top corner edge. Corner edge? I think you know what I mean. Make sure they've all got eyes. They all need to see in the dark. And then let them dry. And then you can put them on their findings. Now, I have found these on Amazon. They come in 3 colours. And you can have them on their own like that. That's fine. Or you can be a bit adventurous. If you have any random buttons or beads lying about, even sequins, pop them on and pop them around your glasses, and then job's a good one. Ah, you see, I couldn't leave it alone, could I? No, out come the buttons and beads. So for the red one, I've gone in with the Sizzix Festive Bead Set. And just keep going until you find some beads that are actually big enough to fit over the loop. So I was telling you about these findings, wasn't I? Amazon, earring findings, hoops, drink marker hoops, all the same thing. Cracking job as both. So if you just put a couple of beads on, a couple of sequins, then your marker, then a couple of beads on, a couple of sequins, a couple of beads, job a good one. And you know, they'd even make cracking cracker gifts. And that, my friends, means you have done it. Well done. Smashing job. Merry, Merry Christmas. So all that's left for me to say is Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care.
Now Well done.